All right, folks, here we go. Dedicated Saints fans at home on YouTube. So we are at Saints Complex again. Today the Saints are home facing the visiting Northpoint Christian Trojans from North Mississippi. They are here on a beautiful Friday afternoon. On Good Friday. So hopefully we'll have some good baseball here. Saints pulled out a big W last night in the bottom of the 8th inning with a walk-off double by Cooper Thompson against Trinity Christian from Jackson, Tennessee. That's two games in a row, 2 years in a row. They go into extra innings and play late in the night. So today we're going to see if we can handle Northpoint. So on the hill for the Saints today is number 9, Dylan James. Behind the plate is number 40, Tyler Bryan. Josh Brown, number 1, is your right fielder. Number 20, Griffin Rose, is your shortstop. Number 21, Josh Russell, is your center field. And the big fella with the big hit last night to walk it off, number 4, Mr. Cooper Thompson, is your designated hitter. Number 7, Jack Newman at first base, who played some phenomenal defense in his own right. And if it weren't for his catch on the fence, we probably wouldn't have won that game last night. You got Nolan Cody playing left field, number 5. Number 27, Brennan Bomars at third base. So we start off with a one-pitch fastball dead away center field. Josh Russell hauls it in. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's efficiency at its finest. Mr. Aiden McCready, number 30, is at second base.
Rob Hayes.
Number 1, Rob Hayes. Then the 2-hole for Northpoint comes up. Saints have been playing pretty well as of late. The last 4 or 5 games, they've been in all of them, and we get an off speed that falls out of the zone, taken for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Leadoff man lined out to center. That'll be a base hit in the 6-hole, right between the third and the shortstop. No chance for the defense. Good pitch, just a little up in the zone and
now batting number 7,
on the middle inside part of the plate. And pretty good piece of hitting, just went right where we were supposed to hit it. So the shortstop, big fella number 7 for Northpoint here, is batting in the 3-hole. It's a good pitch. Fastball up out of the zone, just a little out of the call range for the ump. It's taken for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Got a pretty good lead at first. Northpoint looks to be trying to be aggressive on the base pads, I would imagine. It's an off speed that catches the front corner. Oh, this is the guy. This is the man, James Smith, shortstop. He's committed to Ole Miss. Did I see that right? Or yeah, so that's a pretty good deal there. We need to work around him and not let him beat us. Anybody else but except for him. Dylan James is going to deliver the pitch here. That will be another base hit in the 6-hole. Nolan Cody gets it in. Sends it to Mr. Bomar at third. Dylan James has got the 2-hole and the 3-hole aboard with singles in the 5-6 gap. You got your cleanup hitter, number 23, Mr. Brown, I believe is what they said. Big fella, looks to be about 6'4", 6'5", and a bunch of something, 2 some odd. Dylan needs a ground ball out here. That's a good pitch at the knees. Pretty good fastball right there. Need to get that all-important second out before we get that runner to third, just to help yourself out defensively. So DJ's throwing strikes. Just those couple of base hits were kind of right in the area where you would expect them to That looked like a good pitch too, maybe in off the plate a little bit, but yeah, they were up above the knees, just kind of over the middle inside part of the plate, and they both go in the 6 hole for 2 base hits here. So Dylan's going to want to keep that ball down around the knees. See if we can make them keep the ball on the ground here. That's a good pitch. Really good pitch. So Dylan ahead in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We got 1 out on a line out to center field, leadoff batter. Second and third hole hitters put a single in the 5-6 hole, so we got 2 men on, 1 out. Top of the first inning. Saints against the Northpoint Christian. So we get a stolen base there, 2 stolen bases. Catcher couldn't come up, couldn't get the handle, wasn't able to make a throw. So Dylan needs to put this guy out the easy way and keep that runner at third to keep him falling behind here. He's going to get the out, but that will score a run. So we get a ground out to first base. Dylan covers the bag and gets the put out. We got 2 outs, but they score a runner. So Northpoint strikes first in the top of the first inning. They're up 1-0. We got 2 outs. Pitch in the dirt outside. Able to block up. Taken for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Dylan James, number 9, is on the hill for the Saints. Dylan's already pitched a complete game gym this year, not too long ago, a couple games ago, in Biloxi, Mississippi. Going to be looking to go the distance, hopefully. Maybe we can get some clean innings here and use his arm for the full game here. That's a good pitch. Breaking ball, looks like a ball all the way, and hitter gives up on it, and the ball falls in about thigh high. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the first inning. 2-2. That ball hits the outside corner. And so we got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the first inning. Saints down 1-0 here. Dylan needs to get this cleaned up and get out of this. That's a great pitch right there, an off speed that you got to swing at, absolutely, and just falls out of the zone, gets out of there quick. So Dylan able to get out of the first inning with, we got 2 base hits there, but they score 1 run, so you would assume with 1 out, man on second, they could get that done, and they did. So Saints going to have to find some offense here. All right, folks, bottom of the first inning. Our leadoff man, Mr. number one, Mr. Josh Brown, our right fielder. Did really well last night in the leadoff spot. Led off the game with a base hit right back up the middle. Let's see if he can do that again today rather. Starts off with 1 ball, no strikes. Got no outs, bottom of the first inning. That's a fastball in at the knees for a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gets another fastball in the exact same location. Coming in at the knees. He's liable to get something crooked here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs to your leadoff hitter, number 1, Josh Brown. At home against the Northpoint Trojans. Josh takes an off speed up out of the zone for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Gets a fastball, foul ball right into the glove.
20, Griffin Rose.
That was probably up out of the zone maybe, but it was close enough where Josh goes after it. So you got your shortstop, number 20, Griffin Rose, coming to the plate for the Saints. It's a good pitch right over the heart of the plate, middle inside, about a little above knee high. So Griffin behind in the count, no balls, 1 strike. Hits a hopper to third base, and it pretty easy play for the third baseman there. Takes it on the high hop and collects himself and fires a rocket to the first baseman. We got 2 outs. Your center fielder, who had a put out in the top of the first inning, first pitch, will come to the plate, number 21, Josh Russell. Gets hit. Skimmed him on the helmet there on a pitch up and in. I think that was
4, Cooper Thompson.
Probably an accident, and got away from him there, and he tried to get out of the way, but he's on first base. So our big man from last night's walk-off with the double, Cooper Thompson, number 4, is back in the DH spot and looking to hit again here. And he does. Cooper is earning his stripes right here. So Cooper moves a runner to third base. We got 2 outs, but that was a solid hit.
Jack Newman.
Just first pitch swinging fastball, come in just a little bit above the knees in the outer half of the plate, and he hits the ball to right center, and no chance for the defense. And Josh, knowing where the ball is, was never even thinking about checking up at second base, so he stands at third. You got Jack Newman comes to the plate, number 7. He had a big double last night right over the third base bag, so he hit well, and he made a catch in the top of the 8th inning to record the second out, which was huge, with his arm hanging over the foul fence. Big catch, and then allowed the Saints to get back in there and have an opportunity to win the game. I think the coach may be asking about the set motion here. Wants a different motion. Maybe he's coming apart. I think he may be bringing his hand and his glove apart maybe a little after he comes set, and they're going to talk about it, which that's technically a balk. So once you bring those hands together, they got to stay there, and that's your set motion. So a keen eye by the coach there, trying to get in somebody's head. And once you start getting a kid thinking about doing things besides throwing strikes, that sometimes it works. So Jack Newman Stands and takes a fastball down in the zone, out of the zone for ball one. Cooper Thompson is at first base with a single. Josh Russell's hit by pitch, and he claimed 2 bases on that single by Cooper. So Cooper does a good job. This team does a really good job of doing the old delayed steal. So they just wait till the ball's in the mitt, and the catcher just kind of lackadaisically comes up. It's going to throw it back to the pitcher, and runner takes extremely well. So the Saints ahead in the count here. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Got 2 men on, so big opportunity here for Jack and possibly maybe the next kid. See if Jack can find a way on here. Gets a strike, 3-1 now. That was a good pitch on the outer half of the plate. Definitely a strike, but Jack does a really good job of trying to sell that 4th ball, and he didn't like it, so he's going to take off to first. Fastball right over the middle inside part of the plate. Counts full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 men on in the bottom of the first inning. See if Jack can find a way on here.
Oh, yes.
Jack battles off another fastball. Pretty good pitching here by Northpoint. Fell behind, 3 balls, no strikes. Has come back and thrown 3 really good pitches here. See if Jack can square one up. He cannot. So he comes back with 4 fastballs to get Jack Newman to put out and leave 2 men stranded after a hit by pitch and a single by Mr. Cooper Thompson. Northpoint leads after 1 full inning, 1-0. All right, Saint faithful, we're going into the top of the 2nd inning. Number 6 comes to bat for the Northpoint
Now batting number
Trojans.
6, Spencer Haley, DH.
Spencer Haley, your designated hitter. Comes to the plate with nobody on. Northpoint has a 1-run lead, up 1-0. Dylan James is on the hill for the Saints. Starts with a fastball in on the inside half of the plate. Gets a swing and a foul ball over to the dugout. So DJ ahead in the count, no balls, 1 strike. That fastball gets away from him. He kind of stayed a little upright, and that ball come out of his hand wrong, and we got a hit by pitch to lead off the 2nd inning here.
Now batting number 22, Josh Fisher, playing left field.
Number 22, Josh Fisher, the left fielder for the Trojans, comes to the plate with no outs, 1 man on. DJ needs a ground ball, double play here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt right here. That's a good pitch. Fastball in the outer half of the plate. Taken for strike 1. I think that's what he intended to throw last time. Got away from him a little bit. Came in and had a hit by pitch. So Dylan gets ahead in the count. No ball. And that's exactly what they attempt to do. We attempt a late show bunt. But it was an off-speed pitch, and he can't square it up. Foul ball. So Dillon ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. So I'm assuming we're going to see a swing away here. Probably don't want to try that again. So we had a very close play, and I think Jack just kind of took his eye off just a fraction of a second early, and ball tips off his glove over there at first and gets by him, and the runner advances to second on that. So unfortunately, got a man in scoring position now. So the bunt is off. It's a fastball up and out of the 4-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To your left fielder here for Northpoint. It's a good pitch, just stays up out of the zone. Arm slot a little lower on that pitch, and instead of being more 12-6, it was more 9-3, and kind of stays up out of the zone. Count is even, 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the second inning. Saints are down 1-0 here. It's a good pitch. It's another off-speed pitch. This one he strides out on. He finds the zone, and number 22 does a good job to foul it off. Saints got a tough stretch of games here. Played Trinity Christian last night. Got Northpoint today. I think they're going to run into Christian Brothers next week. So hitting a good stretch of games against some good competition, and Saints trying to bring everything together here. That's a fastball that will be hit at your center fielder. Josh will get in. Good throw at third, and he does not have to. No tag.
Now batting.
Runner stays put at second base.
Playing third base.
So your third baseman, Mr. Hall, number 5, comes to the plate. He got 1 man out, 1 man on at second, and Dillon got a line out to center field. Big first out of the inning. I've watched Mr. Hall play several years. He's a good kid, very polite and respectful, and plays the right way. I'm not rooting for him at this moment, but he's a good kid. So Dillon ahead in the count, no balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 man on. Maybe he can get an easy one here, or at least a ground out to keep that runner, get the ball on the left side of the infield here and keep that runner stay put right there. Get to 2 outs with that runner on second, makes it a lot harder for the offense. That is hit a mile high. Nolan Cody will get under it, put his feet in the right position, and is also ready for a tag, and one does. He smartly stays at second. So now you got two outfield put outs, and number 10, your right fielder, comes to the plate for Northpoint. DJ is looking to get this put out here and keep this a clean inning. Put a 0 up here. That's a good fastball on the outer half of the plate. Gets a swing and a foul ball over the first base dugout. So DJ ahead in the count, no balls, 1 strike. He's got 2 outs, got a man on second after the ball gets by first base on a pickoff move there. But DJ not worried about that now. We got 2 outs. We just need to put out right here. See if number 9 can help himself out here and get a punch out. That's a good pitch. Looks like a ball out of his hand, and it stays low, but not a bad pitch at all. That ball crossed back in over the plate, but out of the zone low, and did not get a swing on it. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs for Mr. Dylan James. Pretty good gap in right center here. I don't know if the discussion with the coach a minute ago was telling him to go that way. But Dylan's going to keep him on off speed here, which would negate that. So hopefully Dylan ahead in the count here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. See if he gets another one of those out off the plate. Now he does exactly what I thought he would do. 2 phenomenal throws in about 3 days for Josh Brown. Josh Brown has had a laser in right field. His last 2 throws to home have just been spot on time, and that one went all the way there. Catcher catches it, keeps the ball, and makes the tag to get the big out. So the gap in right field just coaxed a hit in that direction, and Josh Brown robs him of any glory and puts him out at home. So good job by the Saints. But they're going to need some offense. They're down 1-0 going into the bottom of the 2nd inning. All right, folks, bottom of the 2nd inning. The Saints send the catcher, number 40, to the plate in the 5-6 spot. Let's see if he can. His on-base percentage just went up, folks. Attaboy. I mean, that makes your at-bat easy. You just, I got on first, Coach. What do you expect? And he takes a pitch to the ribs or the elbow or whatever that is. That makes his job way easier. So, and if I get on first myself. So, Saints got the leadoff man aboard. Jack Lawrence comes in to run for the catcher, number 25. Played left field last night and had a pretty good catch in that last inning to help the Saints get the W. Good job by Jack and all the Saints for having a really good game last night. They need another one today. Number 5, Nolan Cody, comes to the plate. That ball's going to the fence, and we will stand up at second base. Matter of fact, we are going to stand up at third. So, Jack a little bit lethargic. Coach was getting into him there, but you know what? It all worked out. He looks real smart right now, and he done grabbed him 2 bases there. Made it close, but Jack was trying to find the ball. Don't blame him. So now we have a leadoff man at third here. So you'd like to think that the Saints can get the job done here, even if it requires a little bit of small ball. Gets a fastball called in the very bottom end of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Matter of fact, Jack Lawrence last night was able to lay a bunt down with 2 strikes to get runners set up in scoring position. Another thing Jack got called to do last night, and that's tough. See if Nolan can get this run in here. He gets a foul ball on a pretty ridiculous curveball. I'm surprised he even was able to put the bat on that. Nolan, a pretty good hitter. Real good fastball hitter, but likes to jump on the count early and likes to hit the fastball to left field. But that right there, he did a good job staying alive on a curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, tying run at third. Nolan does another good job of staying alive on a big breaking ball. That ball was going to have a couple feet of break on it. So I would absolutely expect a fastball here somewhere maybe on the outside part of the plate. But, which is the very reason you're probably right, you get a curveball. Oh, you get a fastball down, out off the plate. No way he could have hit that. I'm glad he didn't get the call because that was a very good pitch. As a pitcher, as a pitching instructor, that's a pitch you teach, and that you can make a living if you can hit that pitch. So Nolan, he tries to get him again on a curveball, and you just come back to the well so many times with that pitch, and one of them floats out on you, and that's what happens. So Nolan gets bailed out there after getting 2 strikes, and Nolan stands on first with a hit by pitch. So 2 batters in a row get hit in the hip, and we got 2 men on with no outs. Mr. Brennan Bomar, number 27, comes to the plate. He's playing third base for the Saints today. See if Brennan can do what Brennan does and get this run in. That's all we're really concerned about. That's a fastball down in the dirt. Takes it for ball 1. Brennan ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. I look. I bet you Brennan is thinking the same thing. That's a fastball. This gentleman behind the plate likes the zone kind of low, which is excellent for the pitcher, but not too good for the hitters. That pitch that comes in right below the knees is hard to hit. He checks it up. Does not get the call, so we're ahead. 2 balls, 1 strike to Mr. Bomar, who I would love to see get this run in before we load the bases. Then that brings the force outs back into play. Right now the double play is still in effect, but that still gets a run scored, and that's trouble. That will get down, but foul. So you get a Nolan says take a look at that where that ball's at, and so we get a foul ball. So count is even here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nolan was taken off there on the pitch and gets a big long swing on a fastball up in the zone, and a fastball up in the zone will it looks real good coming out of the hands, and you try to hit it hard so you don't shorten up and don't get compact, and then you're just a little long, and that's what happens. Those extra couple of miles per hour up in the zone is harder to hit. So we got 1 down. Mr. Aiden McCready, your second baseman, going to try to get a job done here. That's actually a pretty good play. They do not get the base runner sleeping, so they come up and fire like they're going to fire at the base runner. Pitcher basically cuts it off and hopes and dares the third base runner to take off. So Mr. McCready has an opportunity. One of our up-and-coming sophomores here. Really good bat. Just very composed to be so young, and a really good kid, and just plays a year or 2 beyond his age, and that's why he's here. Shown some maturity. That's a good pitch on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We got 1 out, so this young man has 1 job to do. That's put the ball on the right side, preferably in the 4-hole, and get the job done here before we get the 2 outs. Just put a ball in play. That's all we ask, and see if he understands that.
Now batting, number 1, Joshua Brown.
So we get a strikeout there on a pitch out off the plate, and he can't check his swing, and so now it's all on Josh Brown here. We got the leadoff run on by hit by pitch. He gets to third with no outs, so all of a sudden we got 2 outs now, which means Josh has got to get it done with a base hit. And I tell you what, Saints get a break right there. He came set and then hesitated and tried to start his motion again, and that was a balk. So they walk home the tying run, which absolutely is just kind of karma, because the Saints had a runner at third base with no outs and should have scored that run regardless, you would assume. So now all is right with the world, and the ball game is tied 1-1. We have a runner at third base, and Nolan Cody, and Josh Brown, our leadoff hitter, comes to the plate. With 2 outs, gets ahead in the count, 1 ball. And Nolan Cody is doing a very good job of making sure he is in the visual line of sight of the pitcher, and Nolan's pretty good at agitating. So he acts like he's going to go home, and the pitcher's in a wind-up, so he's watching him the whole time, and it's just enough to draw 2 balls for our leadoff man, Josh Brown. I'm sure the catcher said, "Hey, man, don't you worry about the guy at third. He can't score without a base hit here, so you just focus on this kid." He gets fastball down in the dirt. He's up 3 balls, no strikes, so I'm assuming unless he gets a beach ball right over the middle of the plate. But he has hit very well, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got a green light here. Does take a strike. That's probably not the greatest pitch to offer at. It was on the outside half of the plate, kind of down around the knees. Got to be good to hit that pitch and hit it solid, make sure it gets through. So Josh is going to try his hand again. That's going to get down. No, he caught that. Wow. Well, I would clap, but that was an amazing catch by right field. I just absolutely knew that was a base hit. Had just a little too much air under it. But I think the Saints got out of that with what they should have got out with it. Score is tied 1-1. Right field saved the run 100%, absolutely. That was a diving catch, and I think that ball went in the glove about 1 inch before it hit the grass. So Coach is going to make a change here. They're going to put Cooper Thompson on the hill in relief. Dylan pitching pretty well, but was pitching a lot of contact, and maybe the coach is either planning on using him earlier in the week, next week, or just decided that could get out of hand and tried to change their sight line here, and he's going to put Cooper Thompson in to pitch. So everyone else will stay the same for the Saints. Cooper has delivered the goods in the last few days and played pretty well. It's kind of hard to, as a kid that doesn't get, may not be starting or playing in every single game, it's hard for them to get comfortable. They feel like every time they step to the plate, they got to deliver, and there's a lot of stress and pressure, and then some of those kids can get it done, though, and Cooper has absolutely done that in the last few games. Good for Cooper. Really good kid. Been around a lot of good baseball, a lot of years, and good to see him come in and take control of his own opportunities. So he's on the hill for the Saints now. So we are going into the top of the third inning. Score is tied 1-1. Cooper T delivers a high fastball up and out of the zone. Taken for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. It's a ball in the dirt out off the plate. Gets ahead, or behind rather. 2 balls. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of the 3rd inning. It's a high fastball, and once again, those balls look better than they are hard to hit. Every hitter loves the high fastball, most of them, and they look really good, but they're hard to square up. So Cooper gets a swing and a foul tip. That's a better pitch. That ball in the very bottom of the zone gets a called strike 2. Number 4 up to bat for the Northpoint Trojans. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the 3rd inning. Score's tied 1-1. That's a good pitch. He checks his swing. They already had him at strike 3 on the scoreboard, folks. That looked like a go to me, and doesn't get the call. So it's going to be full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cooper needs a strike here. Just put it close enough to get a swing here. I think you'll get a call if it's close. That pitch was in the very bottom
Rob Hayes
of close and didn't get the call. So we got a leadoff walk here to start the 3rd inning. Number 1, Mr. Hayes, is up to bat for Northpoint. Coach calls in a play and resets the defense. Kind of shifts them a little bit. It's a good pitch. Just stays up out of the zone. Fastball taken for ball 1. Cooper needs him a hard hit ground ball double play right here. Here we go. So we get the batter is kind of leaned over the plate, and he's out. So the catcher comes up trying to fire to second. It's a good thing we got that call because nobody was standing on the bag, but kind of caught him off guard. They did their own little delay steal there. And the batter is leaning over the plate, and I guess he kind of got out of his box. So they call the batter out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Looked kind of iffy, but we're going to go with it. Good call, Blue. I think literally what it was is he was holding his hand up to tell the runner to stay put. And his hand was definitely out over the plate, but his body was not out of the box.
Number 7, James Smith.
But he did make contact with the catcher in the throwing motion. I think the glove got him. Yeah, the base runner goes back, and they call the batter out, which I thought it would be the other way, but I don't know. I don't know the rules. So anyway, we get a time called. We get 1 out or 2 outs. Thought that made 1 out, but I could be wrong. We got 1 out. Mr. Thompson checks on the base runner. He gets back in time. Cooper T. All right, so we got our big fella up, our Ole Miss commit, the shortstop, number 7, Mr. Smith, I believe it is. He got a single in the 6-hole, 5-6-hole last time in the top of the 1st. Also had a stolen base. That ball is fouled in off the hands, and that'll be a strike straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. This kid's got a really good arm. I've watched him play last year and this year as well, and just kind of with a flick of the wrist standing in the 6 hole, he can definitely throw it across the diamond. A big athletic kid, really smooth. Let's hope Cooper T can so the runner will advance on a ball in the dirt. Kind of got blocked up, but it just kind of kicked off to the side. I don't know whether it hit the ump or what, and runner is able to advance. I'm pretty sure we only got 1 out. We got a runner at second base now. Cooper T needs to get this put out. That would be huge right here. That's a good pitch. Kind of a long swing. Can't get to it. And Cooper gets a strike 2 there on a foul ball, fouled straight back. 1 out. And I'd stay on the middle inside part of the plate. Thus far, those 2 pitches have kind of tied him up. Maybe an off speed on the side, 1-1 in the top of the 3rd. I'd say let's get us an easy put out here and keep that run at second base and get the 2 outs. So I don't know whether we're not seeing the signs or what's going on. We got a little bit of confusion, and the pitching coach gets out there and has a word.
I can't describe my name. I know you got cheese help, but he had cheeseburger and everything.
So we got a full count, folks. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We got 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning. Mr. Smith, big shortstop, up to bat for Northpoint. Got a hit by pitch. That kid sits on top of the plate, so that's not completely surprising.
Now batting number 23, Hudson
I think they were trying to tie him up on the inside because the swings he had on the hands weren't the best. I think they were going to try to cheat there and keep the ball on the inside half of the plate. And tall, lanky fellow with his toes on the white chalk, that puts his knees out in the area that the pitch is coming in. So now you got 2 men on. Got 1 out. Need something to happen here. We'd like to keep that runner at second and get that 2nd out. Gets a fastball kind of out off the plate. Taken for ball 1. Ground ball up the middle here would be nice if we could get a double play, but tried to come in on that, but stayed up out of the zone for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning, tie ball game, 1-1. Cooper needs a strike here. That's a good pitch, but that's going to travel right at 3rd base. Good job by Nolan Cody. That ball hit harder than it looked, and Nolan kind of settled right in and was in a really good position in case that runner was going to try to tag.
Now batting number 8.
So we got 2 outs now, runner at second and first. So that's a lot better than the runner standing at third. So we need to get a put out here. We got 2 down, top of the 3rd inning. Score's 1-1. Saints playing tough thus far, so. Gets a fastball on the outside part of the plate, called at the knees for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. It's an off speed up out of the zone, stays out for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got 2 men on, runners at first and second. We got 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. Briarcrest Saints against Northpoint. That's a good, and you get a swing and a miss on a fastball up out of the zone, well out of the zone. So Cooper's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on, top of the 3rd inning. See if Cooper can get one, and he does. That's a good pitch right there. It's an off speed. So we get a strikeout. After 2.5, score is tied 1-1. All right, Saints fans, we're going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The score is tied 1-1. We got these future baseball players of America sitting right down here in front of the camera. You can't see them, but there's some, maybe some 7, 8-year-old kids here, all of them wearing baseball caps. And got a really good crowd here Friday afternoon. A lot of people.
Griffin Rose.
The shortstop, number 20, Griffin Rose, comes to the plate. See if Mr. Rose can get it started here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That was, that looked to be in off the plate. I think that was a good take by Griffin, but they get a call. I mean, why not? That's a ball. That's 2 balls. And then now you put your hitter in a bad position because that ball's in off the plate. I mean, I'm sitting here looking. I am exactly in line with home plate, and that ball is not crossing the plate. Yeah, and that right there is going to be a tough play. Safe. No way. That was a terrible call. I mean, just an awful call. But I can see that, and I got poor vision. So Griffin gets the raw end of the deal there. He gets 2 pitches over the inside part of what was probably not the strike zone, and then he beats out an infield slow tapper and doesn't get the call either. So Josh offers it a high fastball, a little bit up out of the zone, gets a strike and a foul ball. So no balls, 1 strike to Josh Russell, your center fielder, number 21 for the Saints. So thus far, we don't I mean, why ever throw another pitch? I mean, that pitch is, if that pitch is over the black part of the plate, I'm not seeing it. But yep, but we got a center fielder that can hit the ball. We got a center fielder that'll stand up at third with a triple. And Coach Hop is down. Coach Hop said, that ball's coming this way. I'm going down. So, you know what?
Number 4, Cooper Thompson.
Josh Russell said, I'm not going to watch another one of those pitches. It is not a strike. Be called a strike. So he squares the next one up. And center fielder kind of makes a bad play. He could have held him at a single there, but kind of can't corral it cleanly. He did make contact with it, but the ball gets a little by him, and Josh Russell with a full head of steam. You are not going to throw him out about 89 out of 90 times. He's very swift. So we get a fastball up and out of the zone to Mr. Cooper Thompson, your DH.
I know 2 people from the street.
Gets a fastball right in the bottom of the zone. Cooper has hit the ball very, very well. With Josh at third, you almost want to see him lay one down the third base line, but then there again, Cooper's hit the ball so well that, I mean, you hate to handicap a kid that's swinging the bat hot, and he's ahead in the count here. 2 balls, 1 strike. So the coach says, you know, there's just as much that can go wrong with the bunt as can go right, so he's going to let him get after it here, I think. Got to give him a fastball here. He does not. Cooper is in the driver's seat at 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Got a man on third base, and Josh Russell, who hammered the ball back up to center. Center field makes a bad play on it. Josh standing on third. Cooper gets hammered in the back. That's about 3 or 4 pitchers get lost inside, up and in. I mean, and I kind of see that when you're giving a kid a strike in off the plate, and that is more appetizing because he's getting calls that aren't strikes. That's where he goes, and of course, you know, the byproduct of that is you get in and you get too close and you hit a batter. But Mr. Jake Hudson in the ball game. He's going to run for Cooper Thompson. Jack Newman, your first baseman. Number 7 will come to the plate with 2 men on, 1 out. Got to hold this runner somewhat at first, so this probably brings the first base line bunt into play. If he can get a pitch on the inside part of the plate. Josh has got wheels. He's not going to give him one on the inside, or at least not on that pitch. That was a fastball down, out off the plate. Taken for ball 1. That's a strike on the outside part of the plate at the knees. Josh is going to score on anything on the ground that's not hit right at somebody, probably. So I think Josh tried to bait a throw there and then actually gets a throw, but that's the old cut off to the shortstop throw, trying to get the runner to go. And Josh almost bites, but does not. And they almost ended up giving the run away anyway because that ball got by the third baseman just enough that if Josh had a clean view of it, he probably would have taken off. So now you got runners at second and third. That's a fastball out off the plate to Mr. Jack Newman, who's ahead in the count. 3 balls, 1 strike. He got 1 out. Let's see if Jack can get these runs in here or find a way to get himself on first base. Got a tie ball game 1-1. We need a run here. That's a fastball down. You get number 40.
Number 40, Tyler
Your
Bryant.
catcher needs to shorten up and put a ball in play here. hit something square on the screws. Don't get too big with it. Just do what you're supposed to do and try to get a run in here. The only problem with that, you got bases loaded, so everybody's in and everybody's going to try to get a force out at 4. May have another pitcher here, I'm not sure, but we're going to talk about it.
You can tell this is where.
Yeah, this is where the boys are.
So let's see if number 40 can stay short to the ball. He got hit by first pitch his first time up, and
You want to do anything fun today?
his courtesy runner was the man that crossed the plate for a 1-1 tie. Let's see if he can get a good fastball here to square up, maybe drive something in one of the gaps here and score a couple. Open this game up for the Saints. With this speed, I'm not so sure. I mean, I really kind of like a third baseline bunt, but he's gonna do a good job and will get the job done right there. Hits the ball over to the right side, and with the infield in, gets himself a base hit. That's a great job, just making sure you don't hit that ball right up the middle, and stays back on a ball and bounces one right over the first baseman's head, who's about 6'5" and can't get to it. And then he's also too far in; he can't cover. Pitcher can't get there, so second base is just dead in the water, and he can't make a play. And we get a base hit the easy way. So we got bases loaded. Saints take the lead 2-1. Nolan Cody, the hard swinging, good hitting left fielder, number 5 here. Man, if he squares one up, puts one in the gap here, Saints can open this thing up. You got Jake Hudson stands on third base. Man, take that pitch. Whew, although it might hurt. But that's a run. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're somewhat fortunate we're not still calling that a strike. So we are going to get a new pitcher here. Coach doesn't want any more of that. He knows what another run or two here could mean, because Saints are playing fairly well and good defense. They're hitting the ball, and
It's just that right there.
so we're going to get a new pitcher here. Your third baseman going to come in. Pretty sure he's best of memory. He's a pretty decent little strike thrower. He throws a lot of strikes. Going to be very, very accurate all around the zone, and I think that's a good thing. That gives Nolan an opportunity to square some balls up here and get it done. Not extremely overpowering from a velocity standpoint, but he's going to make you hit the ball, that's for sure. All right, here we go, folks. Number 5, Nolan Cody comes to the plate. We got one out. We got bases loaded. We got Jake Hudson, number 6, stands on third base. Jack Newman is on second. And a courtesy runner for the catcher, Jack Lawrence. That's going to get it done. That will get at least one. And he gets the job done. Nolan drives the ball to deep center field, and no chance to get that tagging runner up. So the Saints will take a 3-1 lead. Good job by Nolan Cody right there. And Jack Newman Thought about tagging, but stays at second. So we got first and second now. We got number 27, Brennan Bomar, comes to the plate. Got a chance to get himself a ribby here. Single in the gap should get it done. That's a fastball up and in, taken for ball one. See if Brennan can do it. Gonna have to be moving on the ground. You got 2 outs. Oh, that's a good hit. And that ball bounces right over Newman all the way, and just gonna force a throw at home, but gets the play stopped a little bit early. But not before the Saints put up a couple. So the Saints lead 3-1 after 3 full innings. All right, Saints fans, here we go. Top of the fourth, number 6 comes to the plate for Northpoint. Saints grab a couple of runs, take the lead 3-1 in the bottom of the third. Saints need a clean defensive inning here. That ball is just sent right back where it comes from, and no chance for the defense there. Gets a lead-off first pitch base hit right back up the middle. This young man attempted a bunt, one of his opportunities, his last at bat. So let's see if let's just see what's in store here. Got the big fella running. I think this kid's on the hill, stands at first base. He's pitching right this second. Cooper's behind in the count. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs. Saints need to get out of this with the lead and pour it on. It's a good pitch. Fastball right over the middle part of the plate for a called strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Got no outs. Ground ball double play up the middle would be nice here. I do not think the big fella's stealing at first. That's another good pitch. I don't know how he can't get that call, considering the number of pitches that have been called on the opposite side here. Trying not to be biased, but that's a good pitch. I don't know where that pitch was. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's a fastball in the dirt, and now you're at a point where, you know, if you're not getting close pitches,
number 5, Justin Hall.
The hitter just stands there and shrinks the zone and takes more pitches than he normally would. But we need a force out here. You got no outs. You got 2 men on now. You get your Mr. Hall, I think, who went to the pitcher's mound last time, number 5. He was at third base. I think he's your pitcher record, comes to the plate. So we need a force out here, strike out, something to keep that runner at third base. We need that all-important first out of the inning here. We're going to try to move him over here. Got him out. He just can't get there. kind of yanks the throw a little bit. Cooper wisely steps towards second and had him dead to right. Just can't make the best swipe and tag at him, and he comes back in barely safe, but I'm not sure they're bunting, but it certainly appears that he's committed to do so. And I think Briarcrest is on top of it, as good as you can be at this point. He's going to have to throw him something, probably with maybe a curveball, something off speed, something to. He does a really good job. All right, so he gets his job done, and the defense gets their job done. Aiden McCready covers the bag very well. Bomar crashes, makes an easy out at first, but not before a really good bunt on a curveball. That pitch is not easy to bunt. That ball that's trying to get out of the zone, and you're trying to chase it with a bunt, and so we got